This should be one of the closest places to Natlan in all of Sumeru. There's the barrier Nicole and Nefer mentioned. But why? Why separate you from the rest of the world now specifically? And if I'm not mistaken,
I'm wondering the same thing myself.
That voice. Moika! You—
Hello, traveler. It's been a while.
Hello there.
Hello, Dendroarch.
Moika, I apologize for asking you to meet at the border and such. I also apologize for not being able to greet you in person. The form in which you see me now is one carried by the traveler. The real Irminsul has been infiltrated by the doctor. We must be on our guard, as he can spy on information in the world from within the tree. Fortunately, there is no—
My records will be preserved in the Night Kingdom, rather than the ley lines. As long as the Night Kingdom remains disconnected from the ley line cycle, the doctor has no way of knowing my movements.
Exactly.
So by meeting each other in this way, the meeting essentially never happened. No wonder Paimon didn't come. You were concerned that her activity would be recorded by Irminsul. The Natlanese have heard about the situation in Sumeru. With the borders sealed off, merchants have been forced to stop their shipments. It's pretty serious. And you—
I'd like to address the question you raised at the beginning. I can offer a brief explanation. I don't reach this conclusion gladly, but Irminsul predates the heavenly principles. It exists, so even when the people of Sumeru became ill because of pollution, it was not a critical issue from the perspective of But this time, the Doctor's invasion has directly affected the tree. The heavenly principles established a rule that when Irminsul is plunged into grave danger, that way, even if Sumeru is destroyed, the outside world at least has some time to catch its breath.
We'd certainly need it.
The heavenly principles created almost everything that exists in Teyvat today. To them, preserving the existence of the world and its inhabitants—
Meaning? Protecting Sumeru?
Yes. My own power may be limited, especially compared to yours.
Nicole of the Hexen Circle didn't say exactly what this meeting was about. But after hearing everything you've said so far—
That's right. Nahida and I discussed it at length.
You need the Pyronosis, don't you?
Yes. Originally, I only intended to borrow it, but the situation is far graver than I foresaw.
Why do you sound so nervous?
Surely a Gnosis is pretty important.
I guess, but it's not as if losing it would suddenly render us powerless. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. With all the nations you've traveled to, and as far as I'm concerned, a Gnosis is basically an elemental energy enhancer. But I don't usually use it. You know me. I like to think I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
So you see, you don't need to sweat it. Here, take the Pyronosis. Uh-huh, just like that. To tell the truth, I've always toyed with the— I know you accompanied Nahida here to try and increase the chance of success. It's a good thing you did, because your involvement is one of—
Are you sure about this? Handing over your Gnosis?
I won't try to quantify it, but trust me. Handing over the Gnosis to Tumaini is far from the craziest idea I could think of. Besides, even if you hadn't come here personally, I think I still would have agreed to— Irminsul doesn't just affect Sumeru. It impacts all of Teyvat. I know all too well how difficult it can be to protect the things you care about. You don't need to tell me the specifics of your plan. Where the Gnosis is involved, the tighter the secrecy, the higher your chances of success.
Moika, my heartfelt thanks go to you and the people of Natlan.
Don't mention it. But now for—
I have an idea.
fast as I thought.
Just made a lucky guess. This seems to happen quite a lot. Things that apply to everyone else.
Irminsul usually produces effects based on the records it holds. Since the Traveler is a descender,
Is that right? You real catch.
Whoa! Thank you, Moeka. Thank you for trusting us with something so important.
All right. No need to get so formal. It's not like we're strangers. Besides, there's still one problem. You might be able to pass through the barrier.
I have the pyronosis in my hand. It feels... I need to think hard about my memories of Pyro. My memories of journeying through Natlan.
the Gnosis disappeared.
I'm fine. The pyronosis disappeared and...
Maybe it resonates with you because you've mastered the power of phlogiston. You might not be recorded in the ley lines, but you're still our Tumaini.
Whew.
Please allow me to express my gratitude once.
Pleasure. Well, I've given you all the help I can. The rest is up to you. Good luck.
We won't let you down.
Yeah, we aren't about...
Time to go! Let's meet the others at the mausoleum of King Deshret.
I have not felt standing up high, gazing out at the rolling dunes. One cannot know what freedom true.
The golden slumber truly lives up to its name as a dreamland. Though desert sands exist there too, no mirage, no matter how...
Dendro Archon, what is on your mind?
I was wondering, whose counsel I should...
What kind of question?
So many. As I once said to a friend, we look, we see, and we comprehend. What are the many disasters that this world...
The biggest question you should be asking is how to...
Yes. Although, I must not fail. And so the question I am most curious about now...
What we declare to be a young sapling, we may, in fact...
Nahida! We're just in time. They prep...
Ready when you are.
We're here too.
Miss Nicole! Miss Nicole! You run so fast!
I thought I'd get a lot of exercise as a forest ranger. Sorry, I got a little carried away.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, the equipment is ready, and the modifications to Aru are all complete. As discussed during our meeting... Counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready?
Ready. In the past, when people sought knowledge, they turned to the Tree of Wisdom. Today, we use it to save Sumeru and the whole world. These that nurtured learning must not become tools for destroying the world.
Stop.
Please stop. End this transformation.
You would shut down Irminsul just to stop me? You fools. I have all the time in the world.
We haven't heard a single word from our spy in the desert. I'm afraid he...
Never mind.
But we spent years turning him. And a lot of...
Nothing comes for free in this world, but the loss is not without its purpose. For a small price, we have wasted a precious amount of the limited time they have. Quite a bargain, if you ask me.
Understood.
Weighing profit against loss is a necessary part of life. But to tell the truth, I have been operating at a loss since this all began. Since many centuries ago, in fact. For instance, Northland Bank, I would have no reason to be here right now. Dottore, I've placed your final data backup into the ley lines as per our contract. I trust we are now square for the safe deposit fees you paid.
Is it not a little petty to split hairs like this, given our amicable relationship?
I consider sound bookkeeping a matter of principle.
Do not forget that you only live to see this day thanks to me. In fact, every day of your life since you met me, you've been living on borrowed time.
Why, that's hardly a fair assessment. I will concede that my survival was perhaps at your whim, but I became a harbinger on my own merits. Managing money is not like other professions. Mine is not a role I could have acquired based on your recommendation alone, and certainly not one I could have lasted so long in without genuine ability.
The information stored in the ley lines is quite comprehensive. Rest assured, I have not forgotten how strong your Well, I presume you have no sense of fragmentation while talking with me?
How could anything possibly go wrong with such strict measures in place? The remainder of your soul was split in two, with one half sent to Nodcry and the other stored in the most secure vault of the Northland Bank. Though I must say, your disdain for the other segments is quite amusing. Zandik is you, and you are Zandik. Zandik created the segments, yet you, a segment yourself, reject him.
That is, Zandik, created segments of various ages in his later years. To achieve this, he had to freeze time and part with a portion of his soul. but as constructive as it sounds, it erases my uniqueness. If each segment is equally me, then by the same token, none of them are truly me. A soul living forever in the past inevitably holds different views than he did in his later years. The same thing that completes me also restricts me. You too might ask yourself which stage of your life you want to be preserved at. The day your business failed? Or the day you were framed by a gang and sold off to a medical lab as a...
We needn't dredge up the past.
This undesirable plan was eventually scrapped. Lesser Lord Kusanali was quite right. I needed an opportunity to eliminate myself. And after that, I concluded that there was no more effective plan than directly splitting the soul. Once the soul is transferred out, you will find that creating a physical body is far simpler than creating...
The other half of your soul suffered a crushing defeat in Nodcry, you know.
And yet in the process, I obtained the information I always wanted, did I not? Because now we finally know where the best testing ground truly lies.
I once thought your ultimate goal was to ascend to godhood. But as it turns out, that was merely one of your experiments.
Experiments take many forms. Most people are too eager for success, too fixated on the end goal. They forget that the experimental process itself is just as important. A suspiciously vacant seat, a new face. I trust you can put two and two together. The reason it doesn't exist is because someone tampered with the record.
What can I say? After all your efforts, you really did uncover the world's secrets. So, is the new world you promised a lie?
No, it never was. I am glad to be able to control Irmin's soul from within. Now I shall attempt to create a new world inside the existing one. Almost everyone faces the prospect of death, but not a single person has ever been able to experiment unrestrained. I am the only one to have overcome this enormous challenge. Would I not be letting the world down?
Clearly, the dividing of your soul did not affect the magnitude of your ego. Out of all the versions of you that have ever existed, this you is the most insane.
Is that why you chose to work with me? Which was it then? My insanity? Or my radicalism?
Could I call myself a venture capitalist without a suitably ambitious plan to invest in? Yours happened to fit the bill quite perfectly.
Well then, I must say, while I am surprised enough that you showed up at all, what surprises me more is that you chose to present yourself as my former subordinate, and not as the banker Pantalone.
Why make things harder than they need to be? Exposing my true identity in a situation like this would only serve to destroy diplomatic relations between Snezhnaya and Sumeru. I daren't imagine the consequence. Showing up in the name of the original antagonist gives you the recognition you rightly deserve, while also being sensitive to Snezhnaya's predicament. As for why I'm here, if you're suggesting that your credit is in the negative, I won't argue with that. Many people say that about you.
I'd argue that a significant factor in your willingness to cooperate is the fact that you have but a few years of life left after my death. Living and dying together has a way of binding two parties together rather closely. Is it not true that a relationship should be judged by both the positive...
So some of what I said actually made it into your head after all. It's true that I hope you don't die too soon, but don't you find that a strange thing for me to say? After all, you've already had quite... especially for a human being.
Let's not pretend that you're any more innocent than I am. Are we not the same in this regard? We both despise the existing laws of this world, and neither of us enjoy being under anyone else's control.
Is it really so greedy to want the world to operate by a new set of rules?
Of course not, my dear friend. And as I've said before, mutual interest is the foundation for the most reliable of relationships. You can attest to that.
I just hope there never comes a day when I have to work too hard to prove that.
Regrader, sir. People have been spotted approaching Sumeru City.
How strange. Despite your access to Irminsol's data, it appears the soldiers noticed before you did. They must have found a workaround. Well, Dottore, I trust you know what the...
They're coming. They'll breach the city gates any moment.
But even so, I would say Irminsol is a wonderfully convenient thing on the whole. If you do manage to create a new...
I'll consider it.
What do you need me to do? Stall them?
The experiment will take time. Stall them for as long as possible.
Very well. But you're really asking for the moon here. Have you heard this story? There was once a guilty man, kneeling in the center of a church while an angry mob outside waited to bring him to justice. He pleaded with the gods, begging them to grant him one final request. The chance to finish confessing. Many suns and moons passed. Seasons changed. And still, his confession continued, as if he intended to speak until the end.
Are you suggesting I worship you as a god? Or were you hoping that I might confess my sins to you?
Certainly not the latter. That would make my life miserable indeed.
For someone who despises them so, you never seem to have any objections. At first, I thought you'd be furious.
Concerned I would terminate our partnership, were you?
Not at all. You had reasons why our partnership must continue.
Don't you find people's attitudes toward gods amusing? A god descends from the heavens and people worship it unreservedly, blindly following whatever rules are given to them. And yet, when they see an ordinary person gain godlike levels of power by virtue of their own hard work, they treat him with nothing but suspicion, even if...
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
No. I was just thinking. I pity the man who would call you a compatriot.
There's no need to be so self-critical. I know it's a little late in the day to be asking this, but how have you been keeping?
I'm flattered that you would take the time out of your busy schedule to consider my well-being, Doctor. The part of your soul that went to Nodcry caused quite a stir, sending our organization back to the drawing board on numerous fronts. It was quite a headache for everyone involved.
Dear me. I must have caused you no end of trouble.
You certainly did. I had the rare honor of being summoned before the Tsaritsa with Pulcinella to answer for myself. Don't worry, I pulled through. At most, it's a public relations nightmare. I made sure of that.
Now I'm curious. How did you explain yourself?
Oh, it was quite simple. I just pinned the blame on someone who wasn't there to defend himself. I could hardly be expected to defy the demands of someone as insistent as this.
How you slander me. You know full well that I am perfectly amenable to reason. There's no question that you are partly to blame for the ruin of my reputation over the years. Do you have anything lined up for when this is all?
Hard to say. Field work always takes quite a toll on me, as you know. Once I'm back at Snezhnaya, I'll start with a well-earned cigarette.
Why are you so eager to ruin your lungs after I went to the trouble of replacing them for you?
If you have an issue with it, feel free to try to stop me. What's on your mind?
The limits of humanity. It's a pity. Despite running countless calculations, I find there is simply no way to reduce any further the amount of one's soul required to sustain an individual.
It's rare to hear you admit to being unable to achieve something.
I beg to differ. For instance, as I've told you before, the original me was prone to motion sickness and couldn't make long train rides.
Ah, yes, of course. One of the reasons you often sent yourself out on errands. What are you thinking about now?
A new experiment. In the event that my soul was depleted, say we extracted my data from someone else's memories, yours for instance, and then combined it with your intact soul as the base material, what would we create?
Such a scenario would be impossible.
Oh?
As long as your current soul survives, there will be no need to create a new individual. Don't forget, you were the one who approved of the present situation wherein only one dottore remains. And if you ceased to exist, who would be capable of performing this experiment?
Since the day I met you, you've always excelled at talking your way out of a quandary.
Isn't it a little too early to be saying goodbye? Not that I wish to keep you from your business, of course. Very well. Let's leave the conversation there for now.
The power of King Desheret's 7 pillars is truly remarkable. With just a...
Yeah, sets us up for a much easier fight. Really makes my day.
I wonder how many people can say they stormed a city twice in their lifetime.
I was just thinking that. I've definitely had more than my fair share of
This is my first time here, actually. We never usually leave Gandharvaville.
I hope this will be my last time.
Does everyone have to chime in? Can't we just fight?
What an amusing comment, my dear lady. Yet humans often alleviate tension via...
Whoa! What?
Because the image on her shield is one of me. And I, of course, can appear wherever...
Huh. Well, la-dee-da. Isn't that fancy?
You wish for your gauntlet to speak?
Ahem. I think you'll find that it is I whose image is carved hereupon.
Thanks. Definitely feel stronger now.
You're welcome, my lady. I am glad to lend you my power.
Sino, what's the situation?
There are troops stationed at every entrance. As we expected. Everyone, stick to the plan. We'll take the main entrance. You move out.
Look out! It's a...
Finally. We need to hurry. Take the middle road now.
Mahamatra Sino, area...
Don't relax just yet. More Fatui approaching from the right.
Irminsul cannot track our movements. If necessary, we...
Don't worry. We'll wipe them all out.
As you can see, our people came raring to go.
Good, good.
How are things with the Traveler? Can Tainari keep her safe?
Don't underestimate Tainari just because he's a forest watcher.
All right. You know that's...
Sino and the reinforcements have drawn the... By using a cluster leaf of cultivation...
Good luck with that. We'll just fly up there.
Huh? Oh, yeah!
Ready?
Ready.
Fatui soldiers up ahead.
Careful.
Prepare for battle.
Hey! There's people over there!
You have some nerve showing your faces here in the center of Sumeru City.
You're right on schedule.
Well, this guy sure as heck isn't your average Fatui.
They've stationed quite a few people nearby. It definitely looks like everything about this guy feels too deliberate. I highly doubt he's just a subordinate of Dottore's. And he's no mere sergeant. Whatever his rank is, it's high. Much. So you've been waiting for us. But it looks like you're geared up for a
Very clever, General Mahamatra Sino. I know you're the one in charge of this siege, and I look forward to making it...
A siege?
Sumeru City belongs to us!
Historically, yes. But things can always change. We have quite a sizable force with us, you know. For instance...
There's a Fatui ambush at the north gate.
Can you handle him?
We can for now.
Yes, I'm quite sure both sides can hold their ground for the time being. The battle has not yet reached its climax. But what happens next? Do you enjoy watching bloodshed? Surely some of those here are people. Once a war begins, some people must die. I doubt you wish that fate upon anyone you...
Wait a second. It's a trick. He's not even there. Silence!
He disappeared. What was that? A ghost?
Curses. He was never there to begin with.
Enough talk! Attack!
I apologize for being unable to accompany you at this crucial moment, but I am compelled to leave for reasons beyond my control. Please. Sumeru's General Mahamatra is quite ruthless. It's a good thing I wasn't there in person.
Your illusion held them up for a time just fine. But now that they have seen through it, they will realize you were just a decoy.
Decoy or not, what matters now is that they will be heading your way imminently.
Not imminently. They are...
We made it!
This is far enough. Tainari, you go help Sino. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure you don't need me to stand guard? No need. Once the connection is established, we'll disappear from the Sanctuary of All right. Goodbye for now, then.